Welcome back to the channel. I know that this probably isn't the video that you were expecting, but it's what I've got planned. So anyways, I'm planning to show you my entire Take and Play collection. So I'm gonna first start out with all the trucks, then move on to the engines, because usually the truck stuff is the most boring stuff. Okay, so we have a couple of flatbeds, this flatbed, monkey car, mail car, giant truck. I know that this is the sort of tipper thing, but I just like to call it giant truck. Lobster. Octopus. Two generic trucks that I gave faces to. Branch line coaches. I know that these are meant to be Annie, Clarabelle, and Clarabelle, I guess. But I'd call them branch line coaches because generally I have no other coaches. Generic truck number 1, 2, 3. And then another generic truck. A caboose. Another flatbed with headlamps on it. Generic truck. Generic wooden coal truck, even though I know that they're tenders. Box. Tiger, which no longer works. Truck converters. These converted Avengers to Take and Play. They kind of work. I've had 3 of these. This is what this one was, but the magnet broke off. Generic truck. Tote brake fan. Well, one of the tote brake fans. And then finally, Rocky. So, I'll also show the Erdl trucks that I have. This is way smaller, so I can actually fit on one hand. Generic trucks, 2 laughing trucks, and the spiteful brake van. Okay, I'm going to put all these trucks away, then start to show you the engines. Actually, I'll show you the road vehicles first. Okay, so I'm planning to show you the road vehicles next. So, of course the name's not on it anymore. Oh yeah, just to let you know, these are all stuff from my childhood. So if they're very scuffed and parts are missing, that's why. Kelly, Alfie, Jack, does that control his car? Lori 1, I think this is Max or Monty. Generic cars car, generic cars car again, a custom car, another generic car, and another generic car. I know that these guys may have names, but honestly, I'm just not planning on it. Captain Madge Kevin. And I think that is it. Yep, it is. So, now we can move on to the actual engines. Or should I be a dick again and show you the international engines first so I can put those away first? I like the other idea. Okay, time for the international engines. Lexi, Merlin, Frankie, Hurricane. I used to have a Theo, but I destroyed it because it was the first one of the Avengers I got. And I destroyed it because I never thought I was going to get any more adventures. Mia, the Scrap Monster, Gator, Samson, Timothy, Ryan. A lot of these characters are just one note, aren't they? Vinny. Wah, Young Bao. Raoul? Oh, yeah, it is. Alex. Oh, done with you. How you doing, you cunt? Okay, yep. Seamus? That his name? Philip? Ashima? Probably butchered that. And Marion. Yeah, I don't deem these guys as part of my collection. They're kind of just the fucking worthless ones. I'm more like the earlier shit. Yes, that includes the logging logos. There's only like some characters from the later years that I think that I have in my collection. Well, that I deem to have in my collection. Okay, now we can get into the meat of this video. The actual trains that I actually have in the majority of the collection. So let's start off with Thomas's. Thomas without his number. Avengers Thomas. A snowy covered Thomas. Got this for Christmas. Streamlining Thomas. I don't think we ever got an Anya Clever for this one. And then of course, a normal Thomas. If you're wondering where the Erdl Thomas is, I'm planning to do all the Erdl stuff separately. So yeah, that's all the Thomases. If you're wondering why I'm separating off these guys, because I also do not deem these guys as part of my collection. I just really like these versions of Thomas. They can go back in there. Now moving on to Edward. Yeah. I used to have a Take and Play Edward, but I destroyed it. And ended up fucking replacing it with this hunk of shit. I do not like this portrayal of Edward. He might as well be another James. And if I ever make a series using these guys, this will be another James. Edward would be James's class of engine. He would not be a K2. He would be a James class. Like, what's James's class again? Because he just looks like James. So yeah, into the collection you go. Now moving on to Henry. Yep, just. These are actually from two different points in time. I think this is. This doesn't have a date on it. So, yeah. But I know that these are from different points of time. I can kind of tell by the lining. So, I'll go. Next up is Gordon. Wait, now hold on there. This is my second Gordon. This is my first Gordon. You can tell that this is my first Gordon because it's fucking torn to shreds. Yep. I was originally gonna make this guy into a custom. I ended up not following through on that. So, I just end up having this Gordon. Which I do honestly quite like better. I do really like this Gordon. So, yeah. This is just my custom Gordon. Well, I guess that this could be a scrapped engine. Okay, put these guys away. Now, here's James. Yep, James and Buzzy as a B James. So, yeah. But do you see what I see when I say that Edward should just be another James? They have the same wheels. The only thing Edward is missing is another bump here. They're practically the same. So, yeah. And just to reiterate, these are engines from my childhood. So that's why they're mainly missing their eyeballs. Next up is Percy. That is the Percy I've had for the longest fucking time until I got my new Percy. And then of course we have the shit Percys. So, Avengers. Is this Avengers? I don't know, the shitty magnets, they all blur together. But, I mainly just, these are my two Percys. Yeah, get these two out of here. This was the Percy I've had for the longest time. I've had a normal Percy. I know I have it in my memory, but this is the Percy I've had. And then I got this Percy at a garage sale with a couple of other characters, which you will see later. Next up, Toby. Yeah, this isn't even a normal Toby. It's the battery-operated one. I have no clue. Like, I remember only having this Toby from childhood. I don't remember having a normal Toby. And I've lost the middle wheel, so it's one of the, I think it's one of the earlier classes of Toby. And he's all scuffed up. So yeah, I need to get a replacement Toby. I actually saw one at the, why didn't I pick up that one? I saw a replacement Toby at a garage sale. Why didn't I pick that up? Next up is Duck. If you're wondering why I'm showing him from this angle, you don't want to see the other side of Duck. It is fucking gone. So yeah, this side of Duck is mainly just, it's fucking metal. This is why I reiterated, these are trains from my childhood. Duck is just completely shredded. I may actually, I would like to get a replacement Duck, because this Duck will not suffice for later in life. I'll pick him up once, he'll just break in two. Next up is Donald and Douglas. There's Donald. There's Douglas. Guess which one I've had for longer? Okay, that doesn't work. Okay. So, guess which one I've had for longer? Donald Douglas. Oh, you're guessing the one with the fucking eyebrows? Yep, I've had him for longer. I'll do this one first. So yeah, I've had Donald for longer. If you couldn't tell. But yeah, all the paint's scuffed up. There's dust on them from when I played with them in the mud. And then we have Douglas, who looks like he just freshly came out the fucking works. I'm pretty sure I got him last year. So yeah. Oh, have you guys ever had one of the Scottish twins, or one of Bill and Ben, or one of Bash and Dash, or any twin character, and you've tried to find the other one, but all you can find is the one you already fucking have, so you end up just buying two of the same engine and just using them as different engines? Because I remember having two Donalds and using one of them as Douglas. Next up we have is Oliver and Toad. I don't have a normal Toad. So, yeah. The guard's in there. Oliver. I actually very much like Oliver. I actually wish that Oliver got some more actual screen time. Because I just find it a fucking shame. Like, he wasn't used that much in the Railway series. And sorry if it sounds like mumbling here. Okay, moving on. Trevor. If you're wondering why I didn't include him in the road vehicles, well, that's because I have an Earl Trevor, so that's why I haven't included him. I just very much like doing this with the with fucking Trevor. Okay, so anyways, yep, this is Trevor. Next up we have is D199. I think this is one of my later engines that I've got. So yeah, like the bogies. Why didn't they make a Boco? That's just crossed my mind too. Why didn't they ever make a Boco? Next up is Mavis. So yep, that's Mavis. I feel like Mavis is one of those engines that you overlook sometimes. Here's Henrietta. I have no clue why Henrietta got a face in CGI, but not in the model series or railway series. I guess it was to make Toby look less insane. Next up is Devious Diesel. Next up is Salty. If you're wondering why I'm not using the later Salties, it's because I like this one better. Next up is Stepney. Do you guys think Stepney should have reappeared in CGI? I think he should have. But not for like an entire season, like for one episode or something. Just to basically send the Thomas fans nuts. Like Thomas is sitting at one of the stations, Stepney pulls up and he's like, "Hey Thomas." Steams off. The fans would go crazy, be like, "Where's more Stepney?" Then Mattel's like, "Nope, we're only doing that much." But yep, Stepney. Daisy. Don't really have that much to say about Daisy, to be honest. I rarely actually ever use Daisy when I'm just playing with my toys. You know, nearly 16 playing with Thomas toys. How adult of me. How adult of me. There we go. That's a better that. Next up is Diesel 10. I've had the proper Diesel 10 before, but my dog Kane destroyed him. He destroyed Pinchy, so for the longest time my Diesel 10 didn't have a Pinchy, then I just lost my Diesel 10. And I got this replacement Diesel 10 because I wanted to do stuff with Diesel 10 again. And I'll do all three. So we have Bash, Dash. Did I get that right? Oh wait, shit. Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand. Like this is one of those things. Like for the longest time, I've only had Dash and Ferdinand, and I didn't always have this version. I used to have one that was like these guys, but I broke them and lost them. And I got this guy in a set. In a fucking set. And I'm happy I got him. But it just seems too fucking stupid that one twin is harder to get than another twin. I never saw this guy in just a normal Thomas shelf. I would see billions of dashes. Yes. But no bashes. So yeah, these are the logging logos. And then here's my Harvey. Yeah, this is one of those engines I don't use part of my collection. So anyways, that's all the main Thomas characters. Time to move on to the more secondary characters. Okay. Bill and Ben. This is my second pair of Bill and Ben. The original's broke. Here we have D261, or what's its name? Spam Cam. No, that's D199. Bowler. D199. No, fuck. D261 or Bowler. Wish that they did more with him. Really do. He only appears in one episode. Next up we have is Den and Dart. For the longest time, I've only had Dart. I have 2 Darts, but I only got this guy at a garage sale like ages ago. Next up we have is Stanley. So yeah, Stanley is actually one of my newest engines. Yet again, got him at a garage sale. Flora. Flora. Am I saying it right? I don't know, I'm tired. But yeah. I don't know why, but when I was a kid, the Toby and Fowler episode, I don't know why I thought Toby had a crush on her. I think that's just me though. Next up we have his Big City Engine. I really like this character. I put this crest on him, but I really like him. Even though he doesn't appear in the CGI, he doesn't appear at all. He only appears in a book. I just really like him. He seems like one of those pompous asshole engines that could have had a redemption arc. Next up we have his Arthur. I also very much like Arthur. I really like all the Glump Shido engines. Like the engines that don't get much screen time, I very much like them. Because I would prefer to use Glump Shidos than Thomas or James. Now here's a Glump Shido that I don't really like. Scruffy. He does nothing, he has no personality. He's just here to sell toys. Next up we have is Charlie. I very much like Charlie. Fuck this Charlie. But yeah, I very much like Charlie. I want to get a Billy. Billy. Next up is Timothy. The Ghost Engine. If you're wondering why did I include this guy with Thomas, it's Timothy, the Ghost Engine. Did anyone else think Timothy was a real Thomas character? Well, this Timothy, not the other Timothy. Yeah, I did. Next up we have his Spencer. Don't really like my Spencer. I need to get a replacement. He's just very loud. So yeah, I need to go to replacement. Next and finally is Mike. Mike the Arsdale Engine. I wish we got a Lex and Bert of this guy. Like, even if it was just like a recolor. Wish we got more. And I don't know if it's just me, but I like to put the Arsdale engine tender on James. Don't know why. I just find it very satisfying. I would get James up, but he's buried. Oh, never mind. Got James. I just really like how the tender looks on James. It makes you think that James really worked at another railway. Oh, James did work at another railway. I just very much like the height difference. Into the bin you go, Mike. Oh wait, I actually forgot about the second. Forgot about the second pair. Connor and Caitlin. I don't understand why Connor has his cab open but Caitlin doesn't. But I would have wished these two were British class engines. Just seems very weird for two American engines to be there. Next up we have is Iron Harry or Iron Bird. Iron Harry. So Harry and Sydney. I don't have a bird. Got this dude at Thomas Land. He's actually one of my lightest runners. Or lightest pushers, I guess. But yeah, just Iron Harry, no bird. And Sydney. Next up we have is Whiff. Very much like Whiff. I just like the class he is. Next up is Dennis. Wish we got more of Dennis. Especially because he's meant to be the real character. And the next character I'm gonna show, I have a very big gripe about him. Next up is Stafford. Now, why do I have a gripe with Stafford? Because he's meant to be the actual Stafford engine. Why is he on Sodor? And you know, the same's gonna go. Why is there Stafford on Sodor? Why the fuck is Steven on Sodor? These two should be on the fucking British Rail. They should both be in the Preservation Railways. I've seen the real Stafford before. I've seen the. Well, you can't necessarily see the real Stevenson, but I've seen the replica of Stevenson, which I assume this guy's meant to be. They should be in York. Wait, no, not York. They should be in the Beamish Museum. Is that the name of it? But you know what I mean. Like, they could have dedicated an episode to these two going back home and seeing the preservationists or something. You know what I mean? I don't have a normal Steven, I only have this one. Okay. Next up is Porter. I sometimes like to use Porter as the early version of Thomas. Because you know that Porter who got turned into a Thomas. So yeah. Next up is Lady with a driver and fireman. Wish we got to see more of Lady. Like even just generically working around the railway. Next up is Rosie. Don't necessarily like Rosie all that much. Don't like the pink. Next up is Neville. I very much like Neville. Like, I wish Neville did more in the show, but you wanna know what I would have done for Neville? Like an army character. Like when Neville arrives to Sodor, he's like, "Attention! You will all do what I say." And then at the end of the episode, he gets told off for being an asshole. And then the final character of my taken place standard gauge, now gauge is still up here, is Hank. I really like Hank. He seems like one of those engines that wouldn't be on Sodor, but for some reason he is, and I very much like it about him. Or it may just because he's meant to be like one of the biggest engines. I just don't know why. I really like Hank. I know that's contradictory with me not liking Stafford, because he's not meant to be on Sodor, where Hank is definitely not meant to be. But shut up. Okay. Dear God, I'm tired for some reason. Okay. Now moving on to my Erdl standard gauge. Now gauge coming later. First up is Thomas. Yep, only have that Thomas. And I scrapped Thomas. So yep, those are my Thomases. Next up is Edward. I really like Edward. Well, this version of Edward. Oh yeah. Next up we have is Henry. Henry was one of my first ones that I got. And then we have Other Henry. Yep, scrapped Henry. Then we have Gordon. If I'm gonna make any recreation episodes, I think I would do Gordon goes into the ditch, like the ditch episode, and use this Gordon. Because it makes more sense for this Gordon not be able to fit on the turntable than the other Gordon. And I was usually only for that scene. For every other scene, it'll be a normal Gordon. Here's James. Here's James. There's James. So yeah, all different versions of James. This is, I think this was my second James that I just scrapped. This is my first James that I didn't scrap. And then this is my third James, which I'm not planning to scrap. Like, it even has the buffer detailing. It has windows, for fuck's sake. Its dome is perfect. Everything on this engine is perfect. And I plan to keep it like that. Here's Percy. Percy's been one I wanted to get for these guys for the longest time. Oof, I've been talking for 30 minutes. Oof. My throat is not gonna be kind to me tomorrow. Next up is Mr. President. The reason why is, whenever he goes across anything, he always falls over. So, yeah. I've had to re-glue on his roof before. It's broken off. So, yeah. Mr. President. And yep, he falls. Next up is Duck. I very much use this duck more than the Take and Play duck, because mainly this duck is just better. It has no missing. It has only minimum missing paint. So yeah. Next up is Donald and Douglas. Yes, I know that they're both Douglases. Just pretend one is Donald. Got this guy at the car boot sale. Got this guy at a car boot sale. Both separate. You can tell I've had this one for longer. Next up, we have Oliver and Toad. I know people don't really like Oliver because he's shorter than Toad. But I very much like Oliver being shorter than Toad. I don't know why. I just very much like it. Next up we have is Terrence Step. Trevor. Very much like this version of Trevor. Sorry. Just yawned there. I need to get something to eat. D199. I love how long he is. Something that I wish that the Take and Plays did is that they had longer engines. Like, you know, Gordon's long, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like he's puny and short. Whereas this guy takes up nearly the entire screen. Next up is Mavis. One of the first ones, don't use her because her couplings are shite. And she has windows. Then we have Henrietta. Just generic coach. I like how this one's metal, not the generic plastic all the others are. We have Devious Diesel. Or Mute. Old Thomas fans will know that. Then we have Salty. Yeah, Salty's a neat character. Stepney. Very much like this version of Stepney more. Then we have Scotsman. Very much like him. And actually, how different is Scotsman to Gordon? Not that different. Next. Okay, sorry about the inconvenience. My dad went to the bathroom and nearly just fucked up the entire recording. So, City of Chur, very much like him. Wish he appeared more. Boko. Yeah, this Boko's seen better days. Need to get a replacement. Sorry, just drank some pop. Sorry, burped. Splatter and Dodge. I really like Splatter and Dodge for some reason. Oh. Oh, sorry. Keep on burping. Do you want to know something about Splatter and Dodge I very much like? When I was talking to my friends about Splatter and Dodge, my friend Reese, he went, okay, splooge and dodge. And we just started to joke about, for God's sake, dodge splooge. We are children. We are 16 and 15 respectively. Oh, whoops. I accidentally started to put Erdl stuff with all the other stuff. Did not mean to. I have them in a separate place, which is just there. So yep, that's currently where all my Thomas stuff is. You can tell by how heavy it is. It has cracked. So yeah. Okay, so moving on, we have Neil, and either the first or second engine. So yeah. Oh yeah, did you guys hear that Neil survived in the 2025? Yeah, Neil is actually preserved. That's cool. Next up is Wilbert. And also, did you guys hear that the austerity engine was actually bought? I can't remember the name, but he has a black color scheme. Here's one of the scrapped engines. Here's Harvey. Yeah, I like Harvey. Okay, now moving on to the narrow gauge engines. Okay, so Sculloy. I quite like Sculloy. I wish these wheels were a little bit bigger. Just because for the longest time I thought this was his wheel configuration. Like he had 3 running wheels, no trailing wheels. We have Renius. I like how he's so close to red. Sir Handel and Peter Sam. I prefer that Erdl model. Rusty and Duncan. I like Rusty. Duncan broke, one of his wheels broke, and my dad fixed them. But now he has one wheel. Now one of his wheels are longer than the other. We have Duke. Quite like Duke. Wish he appeared more. I can remove his face. Next up we have is Mighty and Mac. I really like this engine. I wish we got to see more of them. Next up is Millie. Got that at the garage sale. Next up is Fearless Freddy. I quite like him. And next up is Victor and Luke. Oh yeah. Here's something stupid I'm gonna say. Do you guys think Luke is meant to be the CGI equivalent of Smudger? But anyway, it's time to move on to the Erdl stuff, so, of the narrow gauge engines. I'll just plug these guys away. Okay, so for the Erdl stuff, we have Skarloey and Skarloey. Then we have Renius. Then we have Falcon and Peter Sam, but I'm just gonna call him Stuart. I do prefer these two over the other ones. Rusty. Duncan. I love the Duncan one. I know wheels are shit, but I love Duncan. And, you know, I'll do these 3 characters together. We have Duke. And Bertram. Yep. 3 Duke England. 3 Duke in three England classes. I may paint this guy in a red livery to be like a prince or princess. So yep. And then for the final engine, Smudger. Or as my friends call him, the Swaginator. So yep. Put these guys with the other hurdles. Oop, knocked the camera there. Okay, now let's move on to the mountain engines. I'll first show you off the customs that I made for the mountain engines. That just being Dunk, this guy, Vic, and one of the diesels. Nothing special about them really. So yeah. And now we move on to the mountain engines. First we have Lord Harry, or Patrick. I quite like him. Then we have two Coldies, which I've covered up their name and number to for a certain reason. So this could be like number 2, 3, or 5. And then we have my Godrich, which I've actually put a working light into. So if I just turn this off. Isn't that cool? The reason why I gave Godrich this is basically for his crash, so like when he's falling down the hill, when he hits the ground, he lights. And then for my final engine, I got a normal Coldie. Yeah, I got this at the garage sale. So yep. And I believe that is actually it. Did I actually finish? There has to be like a secret character that I've overlooked or something. No, we have actually finished all of them. Okay, I finished. Nope. Nope, that's everything. Huh. Huh. Finished it in like under 45 minutes. Well, see you guys next week if my voice isn't dead by next week. Oh. I think I really did a number on it. Okay. See you guys later. See you next week.